Good, beautiful morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. Today is our discussion and meditation portion of our weekly program. Remember, today is a brand new day and now is a brand new moment. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium and channel and an intuitive life coach. And the thing they wanted me to discuss today is this concept of God within. It's important. We have our own conceptions and beliefs about what we think or believe, what we've heard about what God is. And we're going to bring it to a very different consideration, another perspective to consider what this God within that theologians and religions have talked about, what many native tribes have looked at and worshipped, what Hinduism and Taoism or Buddhism refer to when they refer to this infinite source. One thing that we can all agree on is that there is something that is responsible. There is something that is responsible that keeps you alive, at least keeps your body alive. It's an undeniable, undisputable fact that inside your body right now, at this moment, as you hear these words, there is something that causes your heart to beat. This is unquestionable. There's something causing your heart to beat. Additionally to that, there's also something within your body that when you take food or you take juice or you take salad and you put it into that body, that there's something in your body that takes that food and converts it miraculously into blood and skin and bone. And science has been able to break down the process of digestion and assimilation, but they cannot answer the question, what is orchestrating that function? What actually orchestrates the function of that process of the transmutation of substances that you consume into your body? So you have this event in your body called a heartbeat. Something causes that heart to beat. Neurologically, they can find that there's something that happens in the brain to stimulate the heartbeat. And then the obvious question then becomes, well, if science is on the basis of cause and effect, then what exactly causes that little event in the brain to cause the heart to beat, that causes the blood to circulate, that causes the organs, the nerves, and the glands to continually and perpetually function as long as that heart beats, as long as that which beats the heart occurs. What we want you to consider here is that there is an intelligence within your body that is observable to you. You can listen to it. You could plug your ears and listen to the beating of your heart. There's something that's causing that precise and rhythmic movement of your heartbeat. There's something in your brain that causes that heart to be stimulated into action and maintains it. And you cannot separate the head and the heart. If you do, the form ceases to exist. There must be some activity in the mind and in the body for your life in this dimension to exist. As you hear these words, we would ask you to consider breathing slowly and deeply. Place your body into a state of repose, of open receptivity. Yes, we are asking you to place your consciousness, your body, your awareness into a state of open receptivity. We're asking you to do this consciously. As you do that most of the time unconsciously when you sit in front of things like televisions and movie screens, or at places where you're simply listening to music and you're unaware of the influence or effect of many of these things upon you. Let us say to you now, our goal today is to assist you in at least beginning to conceive, accept, or realize that there is an intelligence within you, not only within your body, but within you yourself. The name for this intelligence, we will use the generic term God. Some may use other terms such as the divine or the great spirit or the infinite one. It does not matter what term you give it, but it exists within you. It is undeniable. You can place your hand upon your chest and feel the beating of the heart. You can eat an apple. You can eat a banana. You can drink a liquid. And the intelligence that's in that body that you are hearing these words with, the intelligence in your body does what it can do with that stuff that you put into it. It knows how to transform, transmute, and place it in specific places. Cause cells and nerves and organs and glands to be reproduced, repaired, and regenerated on a daily basis. This is happening in your body right now, whether you choose to be aware of the miracle of that or not. But this intelligence is within you. This is the first consideration we want you to hold in your mind as you place your body into a state of repose, of simply being open and receptive to receiving the vibrational truth of these energies that come in the form of language, as language in and of itself formulates structures of energy that impact and affect your consciousness. And so to consider that there is an intelligence that's living in your body as it is living in this body, that intelligence is universal to humanity. In fact, it is universal to every living, sentient consciousness upon this physical dimension. We want you to become aware of that consciousness, to at least come to the understanding that you are aware that it does indeed exist in your body, at least in your body, at this moment, beating your heart, digesting your food, circulating your blood, that it is in you now. To be open and receptive to that truth, that there is an intelligence within you that sustains and maintains the life of your body on your behalf. It does this for you. It doesn't do it to you. It does it for you. And because it's doing it for you, you have life. You have locomotion. You have sight. You have sound. You have touch. You have taste. You have smell. Because this life exists, keeping your body active and alive and conscious, allowing you to hear, to see, to smell, to touch, to taste. You get to experience, because this consciousness in your body right now is keeping it alive, allowing you to hear the words we're saying, to consider and evaluate the intention and the vibration of these words. This intelligence that keeps your body alive, if you can be so bold as to close your eyes and sense and feel your heartbeat, to pull your attention away from your analytical mind, to give some small measure of attention to that consciousness in your body right now beating your heart, the simple act of your heartbeat. You are not doing that. You are not beating that heart in the body. You are observing it. You are observing it. Pay attention to it. For that heartbeat enables you to hear these words. It enables you to do the things you do and go to the places you go and be as you are. Without that heartbeat, you would not exist in this physical dimension with us to hear these words. But we want you to begin to contemplate the idea that this intelligence, this God within your body, is there, keeping your body alive, so long as you follow certain simple instructions. You provide proper substance in order for the body to replenish and rebuild, as the body does need things from matter, as matter feeds matter. And so you give food to the body, you give water to the body, and it is given to that intelligence, sacrificed. When you consume your food, you sacrifice it upon the altar, and you have life. You honor the God within. When you consume food, you are placing it upon the altar, and the intelligence there receives it, and the body continues to live. And that is not a sacrifice, it's a form of giving. You don't sacrifice anything to God. You give and you receive. It is a reciprocal relationship between you and the creative intelligence that lives in your body, that allows you to move and have your being in this physical dimension. But we would ask you to breathe slow and to breathe deeply, to let yourself settle into the awareness of this consciousness that is beating your heart right now. To simply feel that heartbeat. Feel its motion, its movement. Bring your awareness even into the beating heart, without the intention to try to figure out or understand, but simply allow yourself to experience the heartbeat. Just to allow yourself to experience the heartbeat, to put aside what you have to do next or what has happened before, to simply be in the moment with this heartbeat that is within you, within that body that you are inhabiting while you are in this physical world. To feel the beating heart in your body. To allow all of your attention to simply feel that beating heart, which is life for the body. The beating heart has two words to it. I am, I am, I am. Your heartbeat has two words to it. I am, I am, I am. Feel the meaning of those words. I exist. I live. I move. Your heart has two words, and it is spoken in every moment. I am. I am. I am. This is the beating of your heart. And it originates from somewhere. It comes into there for that fleeting moment of the heartbeat. The yin, the yang, the I, the am. And then the space between those two words, I am. There is a space in your heartbeat for you. The space between the one and the other. A space that you may place your awareness gently into right now, to feel the heartbeat, the I am, I am, I am, I am. And the space between the I and the am. Allow yourself to move into that space. Move into the space between your heartbeats, between the I and the am. There is a space there for a reason. And for you to go into that space, to feel I am, I am, I am of the heartbeat and the space between the beat. In the space between the beat, there is something else. There is something else for you in the space between heartbeats. To rest in there, to observe how I and am move around you, through you. I am. I am. I am. You can use the function of your body's breath to allow the body and the thinking mind to settle a little more. To say with your breath to your thinking mind, be still, be still, be still. That you may be able to bring more of your attention to this space between the heartbeats. To become familiar with the stillness of that space between your heartbeats. This is the beginning of allowing your awareness to shift away from the distraction of the memorizing and the thinking and the anticipating mind. That you can be free of those distractions for a little while to reconnect yourself to that you are independent of your thinking mind. To reconnect to that you are independent of the thinking, remembering, and anticipating mind. That does not mean you will not use the thinking and remembering and anticipating mind. What we are suggesting is that you be willing to at least move your awareness into the space of the heartbeat so you begin to experience yourself as the fundamental consciousness that you are, which is in fact independent of subjectivity to the thinking mind, the remembering mind, and the anticipating mind. In this place of perception where you can allow yourself to differentiate between thought and memory and anticipation, you move into a more authentic experience of who you are that is independent of the structure of personality that has been imposed upon you by the environment. And that from this position of independence from the thinking mind, you can begin to establish a different level of understanding of yourself. You can begin a process of evaluation over your mind, over your memory, over your emotions, over your anticipations that you cannot undertake when you are bound up in them. Many of you have come to adore and love the concept of a movie manifestation you call The Matrix, that discusses about being encapsulated in a reality that is not representative of the reality that you truly exist in. And we want to say to you that that is not too far from the truth, in that you are in the understanding of your thinking mind, your remembering mind, and your anticipating mind, and you are bound in the structure of that reality. And that you can bring yourself out of that reality, to begin to examine that reality from another perspective of consciousness, of your being, that can enable you to begin a process of intelligently remembering, experiencing, and knowing who and what you really are, independent of the impositions of your conditioning You're remembering, and the anticipation often based on the conditioning of your remembering. So we suggest that you bring yourself to the space between the heartbeats. In the space between your heartbeats, there is no mind. There is no thinking. There is observation that you can observe and be aware. There is the heartbeat, the first part, the second part of the heartbeat, what we call the I am of the life of your body, outpictured in the beating of your heart. I am, I am, I am, I am. And that there is a space between these two beats in your heart, a space that when you place your awareness into that space, you divest yourself of subjectivity to the thinking and anticipating mind. You begin to step outside of the matrix of your personality, much of which was not of your own choosing. In that place where you begin to experience the vibration of yourself, independent of thought, independent of memory, independent of emotion, independent of anticipation. Not that you want to get rid of those, they have their value when you understand how to utilize them consciously rather than remaining subjective to them. But you do have the opportunity to begin to feel and know yourself as you are independent of the thoughts, the memories, the emotions, and the anticipations, to know yourself as a being, as an awareness independent of the distractions of the senses. As your senses only allow you to comprehend and apprehend the environment external to the body. And what you are is something that is independent even of those senses, that you can certainly be aware of smell and touch and taste, but you can, in this space between the heartbeats, move into a state or condition independent of biology, observational of it. You can be aware that the body is there, it is breathing, the heart is beating, there are things going on, but you are not caught up into them the same fashion because you are in the space. You can move yourself into the space between the heartbeats and keep your attention there. Become aware of this stillness, this pause of no-thingness between the two sounds, the two words of the heart, I am. In that space, you begin to differentiate from the thinking mind. The very moment you even consider the possibility of only focusing your attention upon space and only empty space, you begin to shift your awareness from the personality, the matrix of the construction that you've been given in that body. You shift your attention away from that into a space where that does not exist. It does not exist in the space of no-thingness. In the space of no-thingness, you are present, you are aware that you are aware and there is space, but you surrender in that embracing of space your attachment to the remembering, the emoting, and the anticipating thinking mind. In that space, you may also begin a process of divesting yourself with subjectivity to the external senses of the sounds and the smells and the touches and the tastes that may be going on all around you, but in that space you can be aware of them and undistracted by them. That there can be motorcycles running around outside, and planes flying above, and people moving about in other spaces around the room that you find yourself in, but you're simply aware in the space that those things are there. From the space you can observe these things and not be captivated or distracted by them. And the reason for this process of moving into this space between the heartbeats becoming fully conscious of this space, is to become familiar with who you are, independent of the structures of ideas and information given to you by the environment. To refamiliarize yourself with the vibrational nature of what you are as consciousness, as awareness. What you are as awareness is different than what you are aware of. What you are as awareness is different than what you are aware of. If you're aware of a thought, then your awareness and the thought are kind of entwined with each other. When you are aware there is a thought, you are not entwined, you are aware there is a thought. There's the thought and you that is aware of the thought. There is your awareness and the awareness that the heart is beating. There's your awareness and the awareness that there are sounds, but you're not captivated and pulled away by them. If you are following these instructions carefully and your body is in a state of repose and you're simply keeping your awareness in the space between your heartbeats, feeling the space, and simply observing that there are things that are occurring around and even in your mind and in the space around you, but you are not caught up in them, trying to wonder what that is, or you simply are aware that it is. In this position of awareness, you begin to feel the vibration of yourself as you truly are. You begin to feel yourself as something independent of remembering, independent of thinking, independent of sensation, not unaware of them, but not lost in them anymore. As the challenge that many of you face is you are lost in the matrix of your personality and your environment. And the struggle you have is the distance you place between yourself by being bound and stuck in certain thoughts and memories and emotions and anticipations. This is where you are lost. But what we're suggesting is that you can be found very easily. You can find yourself and know this consciousness within that beats your heart, that keeps the body alive. You can begin to become aware of its presence by removing the distractions of the thinking mind, the analytical mind, the anticipatory mind, to simply let yourself fall into that space between the heartbeats. Be aware there is the beat, I am, and the space. Come to the place where you can simply observe the beating heart, observe the thoughts in the mind, observe the environmental stimulations, but not be caught up or bound in them. Something wonderful begins to happen when you realize that you are the observer observing and not the observed. When you become aware that you are the observer observing, you begin to shift your awareness out of the matrix of the personality into the vibrational nature of your consciousness of perception, which allows you to observe, which allows you to evaluate in a very different way. But today our goal is to simply get you to the place that there is an intelligence within you that beats your heart. And that in the space of the beating heart, between the one beat and the next, there is a space. And in that space, there's something else. Or you may just simply consider empty space. You may even just simply consider empty space. And to simply allow your awareness to be aware of empty space. This too will give you the opportunity to begin to differentiate yourself from the thinking mind, the remembering mind, and the anticipating mind, and the emotional mind. That awareness of just simply being aware in space. And the reason for this is that once you begin to differentiate yourself from the confines of the personality, you begin to experience a different energy. Not only do you begin to experience yourself as a different energy, but your body will begin to go through certain energetic changes as you as you reduce your attachment from thought and memory and emotion, the normal stressors that come upon the body from the thinking mind are also reduced, because you're no longer giving those elements of thinking and remembering and emotion your energy. And in that space where that thinking is placed in a state of stillness and quiet, where you're no longer energizing it with your consciousness by being aware of it, because if you place your attention on something, you add your energy to it. So when you pull your energy away from the thinking mind into space, then the normal energetic elements of those thoughts are not going to affect your body, because you're not energizing them with your attention. And so the body will spontaneously begin to go through a corrective process. The body will spontaneously begin to go through a corrective process, because you're no longer energizing thoughts and memories and emotions that may or may not be good or not so good for the body. Then the body in and of itself has its own energy system to begin a process of correction and repair without the impediment of thinking and anticipation and memory that generate or stimulate qualities of energy that might not be suitable or beneficial for your body. So you may breathe slow and you may breathe deeply into that space, in the space between the heartbeats, or you may move your awareness into the space of space without getting lost in it, and simply be aware that there is space and keep your attention on that. Do not allow the senses to pull you back into the matrix of your personality. This is about you learning to differentiate yourself from your personality, that you may then move into a position of consciousness where you can begin to look under the hood, as it were, at what thinking and what remembering and what emotion goes on in your personality, that you, from a perspective of awareness, can begin a very gentle and thoughtful way of changing the thinking processes, which in turn will change the emotional qualities of the mind, which in turn change what you will anticipate. When you change the emotional and mental processes of the mind, you change the events and experiences that will happen in your world. So let us join together with you in the breath, in being in this space together, divested of thought, divested of memory, divested of anticipation. Just breathe slowly and breathe deeply. And bring your awareness into space, in the space between heartbeats, or simply in space. You may be aware of sounds and things that your body will perceive, and simply keep your awareness in space. You can even feel the space between yourself and the sound, the space between a thought. Keep your attention on being aware of simply empty space. Use your breath to remain in that space. Keep yourself in the space with your breath gently. You can allow yourself to use the breath to settle the body deeper, to release the thinking mind as you move your awareness into space. Feel how space is different than thinking, remembering, and anticipating. Become aware of how space feels different than thinking, remembering, or anticipating. Get familiar with how you feel in space, aware of space. Feel that. If the thinking or remembering mind tries to pull you to it, just gently draw your attention back to space. Your thinking and remembering and anticipating mind will still be there. You are just not in it at the moment. Keep your awareness in space. Become familiar with how you feel, simply being aware of only space. For those of you that have kept your awareness in between the heartbeat, in the space between the heartbeats, notice how you feel, being aware in the space between the heartbeats. As you allow yourself to stay focused in space, you begin to connect to the vibrational nature of what you are, independent of the structure of your personality and your body. You begin to feel the vibrational energy of what you are, independent of the thinking, remembering, and anticipating mind and the body. In space, there is no definition based upon the body or mind. There is simply the experience of being in space. And as such, you experience your vibration, your being differently, because the reference point has been changed from mind and body to space. Allow yourself to really feel the vibration of what you feel in space, and then breathe that vibration into the body. You can breathe that vibration into the body. Breathe the vibration of the space that you feel in space into your body. Breathe it into your mind. Breathe it into the entire body. You're drawing this vibration into the body with your breath now. You can continue to use this process to continue drawing the vibration of yourself in space into the body. This means you are drawing a vibration that's independent of your personality. You're bringing a new vibration that you feel into your body. You're bringing a new vibration of yourself into the body, into the mind system. Some of you will be experiencing tingling sensations in your body. Some of you will feel an expansion in the space around your body. Some of you will feel peace. Your minds will be quieter or calmer, or the emotions that you were feeling will be settled. Because when you bring a new energy into the system, you change it. And when you bring the vibration of yourself as you are, independent of your personality, into the body, you will change the body from your energy, instead of depending upon the world to provide you with something to change your energy, as many humans today depend upon something outside of themselves to change what they think and to change what they feel. And yet you are capable of articulating profound energetic changes in your mind and body as a function of your own will, your own volition, your own creating intelligence. Our goal was very simple, to provide this simple instruction that would connect you to that divinity within you. And if we were to try and define it, what it is, we would be deceptive to you, as it is far vaster and more than what a single word or idea can fully articulate. And while we have chosen to use the term God within, what you experience yourself in that space, independent of your thinking and remembering and anticipating mind, in that awareness of being aware in space, you come closer to knowing that the statement from your many masters upon this world of you must learn to be still, you must learn to become nothing, to know everything, you must become nothing. Be still and know I am God. These statements were the closest approximation that can be given to humanity to accurately represent the way in which you can restore yourself to the awareness of that divinity without our impeding that pursuit with too many descriptions of what it may or may not be, simply in that place where the mind is still and quiet and peaceful, where you are divested of the matrix of your personality, you can begin to experience the vibrational connection that you have with that source that is within you and all around you. In space, you get to experience yourself independent of the matrix of your personality, which can often act as an encumbrance on your perception. But in space, in the awareness of that, you have the opportunity to commune and connect with your energy as you are, and that which is in space, in the stillness of space. Your definition will be your experience, what you experience in this process of being independent of your thinking, your remembering, your emoting, and your biology, and simply being aware of being in space. Then the validity or the truth of what it is for you will be made known to you from your experience, and not simply from what we say or from what any theologian or book or course can teach you. The experience of it directly with yourself is more valuable to you than anything we could possibly tell you. But once you've experienced it, you will be curious, because there is a feeling that comes with being unrestricted by your personality. Your personality restricts and inhibits and limits you to the structures of information and belief and emotion that are placed upon you in that form. And when you step outside of that, you begin to reconnect to the essence of what you are, as you truly are. This requires that you be willing to suspend thought, memory, emotion, and anticipation. Because what you know in your little mind is only what you know in your little mind. There's realms of information and knowledge and understanding far beyond the scope of what you know is the great vast unknown, what you do not know. And what you do not know is far vaster than what you will ever know. Always. And that's the delight in the pursuit of what you do not know. You shall find your way through the garden of eternity. As you step into the unknown, you move into the garden of eternity. And that is quite delightful and beautiful when you understand that you are eternal in that sense. In the realm of what you do not know, eternity becomes available to you to experience, to dance and play through for as long as you will. Thank you. For those of you that are wondering, the group that I was channeling just now is called the Divine Collective, and they've been with me for about 5 years as well as other collectives. The entire focus of the beings that work with and through me is to help restore human collective unconsciousness back to love and away from fear. And the reason for that is twofold. One, the vibrational emotion of fear causes certain effects. When you're angry, certain behaviors happen. When you're happy, certain behaviors happen. Humanity is energetically behaving in a way that is destructive and harmful, not only to ourselves, but to life forms on the planet, to other dimensional life forms that are being affected in our pursuit for wanting to understand what we don't understand. And yet, very simply, you can go into the energy of that at any time. But anyway, this energetic state that humanity is collectively in, they tell me it is causing massive changes in our the world's electromagnetic field. We are affecting it with our collective energy as a species. Carl Jung talked about the collective unconscious, and it's a real thing. We have our conscious mind that we all live in this day-to-day world, but we have this unconscious, invisible field. It's electromagnetic in nature, and we all contribute to it in one way or another. And this electromagnetic field, which is electrical in nature, interacts with other electromagnetic fields. You experience this when you have somebody walk into a room and they're really excited. Hey, guess what happened to me? And you get excited. What happened? Because their energy, their electrical energy transmitted by both sound and motion, stimulates you into that energy with them. Or if they come in and go, oh my God, you realize what happened? You're stimulated into that energy. And both of those different expressions cause changes in the electrical energy. One contracts it, one expands it. Right now, our Earth's magnetic field is contracting. And it's not contracting because of the sun, although that's affecting it. It's contracting in part because human collective unconsciousness is shifting from love to fear. And in a state of fear, if you look at animals in fear, they're either going to run or they're going to attack. But either way, the electromagnetic field around somebody in a state of fear contracts. And the planetary energetic system of which we are a part is contracting because we are shifting from love to fear. We had a period of about 100 years in the last 200 years. We had a period of about 100 years where there was real freedom and innovation and creative expression done in a rational and practical way, where we recognized that certain things function in very precise and specific ways. And we've now deviated that to confusion and uncertainty, guilt and shame, attack, greed, avarice, sexual objectification. We've engaged in energies that are collapsing our electromagnetic potential away from love and to fear. And the whole focus of everything you'll hear on this channel, on all these channels, through me, is that one focus. They want us to restore human collective unconsciousness back to love from fear. And greed is a function of fear. Greed is a function of fear. Greed is a function of fear. Remember that, because there's a lot of greed on the planet right now. Stealing is a function of fear. Anger is a function of fear. Judgment is a function of fear. And we've gotten so humanly engrossed in focusing on what causes fear, and judging each other, and attacking each other, and in fearing each other, in illusionary lies. And the unfortunate truth about all that is, most of these lies are propagated by a few people that are in control, that have a vested interest in you not finding out what they've done to you. So they keep you bombarded with entertainment and what Julius Caesar called give them bread and circuses. Because if they knew that we were taking their wealth and their resources and they're just giving them to us and we're lying to them about what we're going to do, they would come after us. So let's give them entertainment. And we see that going on. They've distracted you away from what's being done. And they keep you in a state of perpetual fear and judgment about each other. They even got you judging each other by your skin color, not realizing the unique and exquisite beauty of each and every one of you. The unique and exquisite beauty of each and every one of you. They keep you away from that reality that it doesn't matter whether you are an individual or a group. You are all unique. But they keep you in fear and in judgment of each other while they rob the hen house, so to speak. But they do this to prevent themselves from being held accountable. They keep you in fear that you not evaluate and hold them accountable for what they are doing to you, what they are doing to your beautiful humanity. They will keep you distracted in the meaningless. They will keep you distracted by want and need. They will keep you distracted by pain and suffering. They will keep you in survival where you cannot think or weigh or measure. They will make certain that you have as little as possible so that you cannot think or reason, that you live in fear of what you will eat or what you will drink. You must understand that there's only a handful of these individuals that are doing this because they know that if they were found out they would not be on this planet for very long. You would not tolerate them. You would have no tolerance if you understood what was being done to you and by whom. And they have even created the laws and rules that govern you. And they even create rules and laws now that govern you to ignore, negate, defend, and deny their wrongdoings. But all of these things keep humanity collectively in a state of fear. Whether it's a small set of individuals doing this, you are all participating in it. And you must hold those accountable that perpetuate fear in your minds, in your bodies, for what they do to your food and to your drink to keep your body in a state of stress contributes to your fear. But what they do not realize is that they are contributing to this collapse of your magnetic field. They are part of the same human family after all. But children wishing to avoid punishment because they have done wrong to you, and the way in which they choose to avoid their punishment is perpetuating the very thing that they seek to avoid. For they too shall be punished by way of their own error. For if you perpetuate fear in others, you will perpetuate an effect that you will bear the cause of, that you will bear the effect of. You will perpetuate a cause that you will bear the effect of. You cannot escape the effects of your own causing. Yes. We'll leave it at that. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. So I hope you guys will take this. Someone's asking, I often get the symbols of the kadoshas. Kadoshas, there's different ways of expressing it. Can you explain what it means to me? Well, to me, this is a symbol of what Jesus Christ taught, what Hermes Trismegistus taught, what all the great masters have taught, of learning how to utilize. If you can think of this center line of it's also called Hermes staff, is another term for this, Hermes staff. And it really is a rod that comes up. It used to be the health symbol, not the medical symbol. It used to represent healing and health. And it's the recognition that there are two forces in your body, a divine masculine and a divine feminine. Or if you want, I'll remove the word divine because you might have triggers around that. But the word masculine and feminine energies that the body has, a positive and negative charge to all things. Every molecule, every atom is bound together because there's a negative and positive charge, a masculine and feminine energy to them. That your human body has both an electromagnetic, male and female electrical charge. That female electrical charge moves up through the spine and is united in the pineal gland. When you learn to elevate your energy from survival and instinct, you elevate it up to creation. So the bottom of this is where instinct is. The top of this is where creation is. You bring your energy up from survival to the realm of creating, where you can create with your energy consciously instead of fighting for life. I'm going to beat that enemy so I can get food, and I'll conquer them so I have all their resources so we can live longer. No, that's all lower prime. But the symbol means healing and creation, elevating and ascending your energy from survival to creation. That's what that symbol means, elevating your energy from survival. Interesting that it's a lot like the crucifix, right? That's very similar to the crucifix in structure, because the crucifix symbolically represents a similar thing, ascending your energy up from the lower planes of survival to the divine state. And that's what Jesus taught, what Buddha taught, what Yogananda taught, what many other ascended masters have taught. To ascend your energy up from fight and flight and survival to creation. It's a beautiful thing. But thank you for asking that question. It's a wonderful question. Thank you. Someone's saying, I don't understand why they don't want to live in peace. They don't live forever, and their families suffer as well. Makes no sense. Carbon footprint. Well, listen, just so you know, the carbon footprint thing is another one of their goals of gaining and stealing great wealth. That's all they're doing. They're stealing the resources that you produce. Politicians are thieves in the night. I don't care. 95% of the politicians on this planet are basically nothing more than thieves in the night that are doing the bidding of those who are telling them what to do. The corporations, the oligarchs that run run the corporate world. And they don't necessarily just live a single lifetime. They understand reincarnation. They understand how DNA memory works. They know how to pass on information through their genes to their children. The training and education that they provide their children gets installed and downloaded in the genes, and those genes carry information forward through generations. What the conventional education that's on the planet now is designed to condition people to not pass down information other than what they give you. So they keep generation after generation of humans in ignorance, in poverty, and in suffering by the conditioning they give you through conventional education. Even in what they call higher education, college and university, all of those systems are also created by them. What they allow and don't allow. Someone like Jordan Peterson found out about that the hard way. He stepped outside of the bounds of what they said was okay. Because if you step outside the bounds, you're not okay. They will excommunicate you from the process if you don't stay within the box. So-called higher education is just another system that they've created, a slightly higher bit of knowledge and information, but they do not allow you to be liberated outside of that. So conventional education was generated by them to maintain control and authority over humanity, over all. And they are who they are. But you can know them by their fruits. So they train their children, they train themselves into meditation, into learning how spirit works and understanding the function of healing. They've taken the teachings of all the great masters and they live them. And they use them to manipulate and control people for their own personal gain. That's what they're doing right now. And we're seeing that clearly around the world. I'm not normally speaking about politics and that on this show because it's just not what it's about. But these beings have created education. They've created health and mental health systems that keep you restricted in suffering. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, but mental health and physical health are getting worse on the planet, even though billions of dollars are being poured into it. Because it's not about physical health, it's not about mental health, it's about control and manipulation and keeping people in pain and in suffering and in survival. Because when you're in survival, you cannot think or reason. This is my personal opinion now. When you're in survival, oh my God, you can't think or reason. They think and reason all the time. They've reasoned that if they teach you this and feed you this and give you this and tell you this, that you're going to be a certain way. They know this. They know that if you watch The Walking Dead for 6 years, your mind's programmed into fear, anger, guilt, judgment, shame, survival. Their whole focus is to keep people in survival, not in creation. They live in creation. But they keep you in survival. And they're doing it, and you're allowing it. Every time you elect some of these, 95% of the politicians on the planet are corrupt and operated by them. The police state, the police systems around the world are their first line of defense against you rebelling or going against the laws they create, which are rules of conduct to get you to be the way they need you to be for them to do what they do. And political organizations throughout entire histories and civilizations, many civilizations have risen and fallen under these same people because they know how to move information through time and space through DNA. That's the reason why they're screwing with everybody's DNA and with this mRNA technology. They're screwing with your DNA so you can't pass the memory of what was done to you, what was done to your children. So you won't pass that memory on. Their mRNA technology will prevent you from passing on through your genes what you need your children to be prepared for. They don't take those things. They don't take those vaccines. They don't take them because they know they have to maintain the integrity of their genetic memory systems to maintain authoritative control for tens of thousands of years through millennia. And they've been practicing this for a long, long time. And if you don't believe me, just look at what's happening on the planet. They keep you in fear. The vast majority of people on the planet are kept in a perpetual state of fear. The body being hungry keeps a state of fear. The mind being confused and frightened keeps you in a state of fear. There's no reasoning there. Even though you know what they're doing is wrong, you're in I got to work for food. I got to work for clothing. I got to work. You're so in survival that you can't go against all these politicians. Say, screw them. We don't need them. We don't need to give them our money anymore. They didn't do anything to earn it. In fact, they're making us broke. Why should we pay politicians under the dime? But people are caught in fear. So they're not paying attention to the source of the problem. They're simply caught up in their own survival. And that's going on. And that keeps humanity collectively in a state of fear. So even though they're in this position of control and power, the state of fear that's perpetuated is causing this collapse of our electromagnetic field of the planet, because our collective unconsciousness is interacting electrically with that system. And you can see it's going down faster. These last 30 years, they've noticed the electromagnetic field of the Earth is collapsing faster and faster, getting weaker and weaker. And what's been happening emotionally on the planet for the last 30 years, our emotional, social fabrics is collapsing. We're getting more survival-based, more riot-based, more greed-based, more stealing, more sexual crimes, child trafficking. All of these things of a low vibrational nature are causing our survival energy to collapse our field. And we're seeing literally that being outpictured around us. You cannot be separate from what's around you. We are all participants in this. And the only way to shift this is to shift our collective unconsciousness into a state of love again. And away from a state of fear. Right? And they put the vast majority of people in a state of perpetual fear. Every day. Your televisions, turn those darn things off. 90% of the things you watch on TV will keep you in a state of fear. They'll keep you in a state of distrust. They've been programming, conditioning people to know what to do when certain things happen. I don't want to get too far because I don't want to have problems with the illusionary authorities that are around, right? Because they are around. But regardless of their position of authority and power, even though they've taken 90%, if not 95% of the wealth and time and energy you've given to them, even though they've taken that, they cannot escape the effects of their own causes. Take heart in this, that even though they have these luxuries and wealth and freedom that you don't have, that they've taken from you, they got their freedom from you by taking from you. That's the truth. What's going to happen is the effect will happen anyway. The longer they perpetuate keeping you in a state of fear, anger, guilt, shame, judgment towards yourself or to others, as long as they can keep you in that, there's an inevitable outcome to that. And that is what they call the magnetic reversal of the planet, because the field will collapse and there'll be a massive shift. A bunch of people will be removed from the planetary system, and the system will be able to rebalance itself with all the stress of those energies being removed from it. Just like your body, when it fights a virus, increases the temperature, it gets very uncomfortable and a lot of pain and aches as the virus is fought. And then finally, when the virus is overcome, the body regenerates into a new state. Well, the same thing happens, and has happened many times on the planet before. This is not the first time. This is not our first rodeo, folks. This is not our first rodeo. We've been at this for tens of thousands of years in this dance of trying to restore love deliberately. Sorry, I just watched a flock of 9 doves go flying overhead there. It was quite beautiful. Anyway, I'm going to stop now because that's my personal opinion. This last 5 or 7 minutes, my personal opinion. They have a very different way of executing it, but every once in a while they let me voice what I think and feel and believe. I prefer to defer to their wisdom and their knowledge and their instruction for restoring ourselves to love. Right? So a lot of the anxiety and fear and guilt and shame that many people are feeling is not even yours. It was given to you by your environment, given to you by the TV shows you watch, given to you by so-called entertainment. They teach you to maintain that fighting is good. They create these MMAs and all these different things that get people to be grateful that we can watch them hurt each other. Right? So they keep the energy of anger and fear and rage and conquest alive, because that's how they have survived. They've survived through that process. And they will survive again unless we make a change now. Thank you, Amanda, for that wonderful super chat. I really appreciate it. Message. I'm going to get to you in just a second. First, Amanda, I'm going to just a message for Amanda. Yes, quite simply, keep love conscious, active, and present. Consciously keep love conscious, active, and present. I'm being told to tell you to ask him what he needs, no matter what it is. Ask him that question. Ask him what he needs, no matter what it is. Tell me what it is you really want and need. But be open, if he tells you, to providing it. I'll leave it at that. Andrew is asking, my cousin Sam recently lost his partner Jody, and he desperately would like a message from her, but I think he won't be able to watch this till later. Is there any message from Jody to Sam? They're saying he wanted to enjoy a new life, and now he can, and I want him to enjoy his new life. I want him to enjoy his new life. I want him to enjoy his new life. Please tell him this. I want him to enjoy his new life. Yes. Thank you. She's very happy. It's a very deep love she has for him. Very deep love. William, you speak truth. Michael Sarian said the conspiracy theory path is the spiritual path. Once you wake up, then you have to reconcile all the cognitive dissonance through spiritual reawakening. It's very true. It's very true. You know, you've been taught to believe that government is there to serve you, and yet government has done nothing but go against you. And it's getting worse, not better. You know, you give a child a stick of dynamite and matches, and something's going to happen. You look at even Canada, where you got a man-child like Justin Trudeau, who can barely hold two sentences together in any form of coherence without an because he can't think fast enough about how many lies he has to tell. That's what's going on with him. When you hear him saying that, it's because he's trying to make certain that he's telling the right lies for you to hear. And there are many other politicians. You know who they are around the planet. 95% of the politicians on this planet are just mechanisms for manipulation and control by those who govern them. Your government is not governing you. Your governments are governed. Keep that in mind. Again, I'm now getting personal again. I apologize. Thank you. The dreams, what are it? Hi, William, how are you? One question, the dreams. What it means for you? I'm not certain about what you're referring to, Lucas. The question's not. But I've got one focus for the rest of this lifetime: to allow myself to be a vehicle for the wisdom and the knowledge of the Ascended Masters. They teach through me in our courses, in our classes. They teach through me in the readings that people have with me. Their whole function is to restore humanity individually and collectively to a state of love and grace. Because the creative power of love is very intense in terms of what it can create. Right? We saw a little glimpse of that in the United States for about 150 years, where the creative, unrestricted flow of love creatively created massive, incredible innovation that only a small percentage of it actually reached our tables and our homes. They have technologies that are hidden away that can solve world hunger, cure any disease, but there's no ability to gain advantage of people that are happy and healthy. You cannot gain an advantage over people that are healthy and happy unless they give you that advantage, right? And they've manipulated people. But my dream is to see humanity restored to love, to watch the Earth's magnetic field be healed and balanced through that manifestation of love of humanity. And I'm here to simply be a vehicle for that information. That's what I'm here for the rest of this biological lifetime. All right, thank you so much. I'm not seeing anything he's reading or referring to. I'm not reading anything. I have no idea what that means. I am channeling information here. I'm just allowing information that's coming to me based on what they laid out this morning. They said they wanted to talk about the idea of meditation and God within. It's a discussion of meditation on God within. So it was a combination of a discussion, but also a following through with certain instructions to restore yourself to what you are as a consciousness, independent of the conditioning of your personality. Thank you for subscribing to me. I really appreciate that. The consciousness that you are, independent of the matrix of your personality. I'm paraphrasing what they were saying earlier. but the construct of your personality is a matrix that keeps you encapsulated in certain beliefs and ideas that have been given to you by the environment. And that the goal today was to shift your awareness from the matrix of your personality to the state of, the term they used was space. Putting your attention on empty space and feeling how you feel in that empty space, independent of the thinking, analyzing, remembering, and anticipating mind. Again, I'm paraphrasing. But that's the goal today, was to get you reconnected to your energetic awareness as you are, independent of the conditioning of your mind and body. And the way they suggested that today was to get yourself into the space between the heartbeats, or a space that's independent of thought, just feeling space and being aware of space. Very powerful. It's a very powerful and simple tool. My friend Angel passed away in her sleep in October. I don't know autopsy results. Any message from her? Hi, Don. All I'm getting from her is like a, whew, what a relief. That's what I'm getting from her. She's just like, what a relief. It's nice to leave quietly. Yeah. She didn't like being a very loud person. She liked being quiet. She said she's really grateful and relieved. Yes, that was for you. Hi. Oh, wonderful. We're up to 24. Thank you for subscribing so much. Wonderful. I feel energetic attacks at night time. Implants, all kinds of things. Okay, Adriana, you want to start reducing those attacks or eliminating them altogether. Before you go to sleep, lie down in bed and feel the space of the room that your body is sleeping in. Feel the whole space that the room your body is sleeping in. Feel that space and speak and think these words into the space. Only love may enter this space. Only love may leave this space. And go deeply, slowly, and deliberately feeling the meaning of those words. Feel the meaning of those words. Only love can enter this space. Only love can leave this space. And repeat that gently and slowly as you're lying in bed to go to sleep. Just keep repeating that into the space, filling this space with the vibration of those words. And do that until the body falls asleep. And do that every night for about a week. Okay, and then when you experience the change you experience, please come and share your experience with us when you come back on the show again. Thank you. Thank you, Jerusalem. Can my guides tell me how I am progressing towards my desires and wholeness if I need to modify anything? I'm getting a lot of laughter, of joy. Like, there's a great joy about what you're doing. And somebody's telling me, he's male, he's saying to me to tell you, as you feel joy in all things, then joy shall be your life. As you feel joy in all things, he's referring to the things you're doing. As you feel joy in all things, joy will be your life. Yes, he says you're very close to the realization of that fulfillment of that joy. But he wants me to, he's insistent on me saying to you again that joy needs to be in all things. Your joy must be in all things. And joy will be your life. Wonderful. Thank you. Hi, does my mom forgive me for not being able to care for her more at the end? Things change when you leave the physical dimension. Your perception of what you think things are. You know, the meditation and instruction received earlier from the Divine Collective about divesting yourself, moving your awareness away from the thinking, the remembering, and the anticipating mind, to bring yourself away from the mind, to bring yourself into an awareness of just being aware in space and feeling yourself as an energy, independent of what you know and think and believe and remember by what you've been taught. That you'll get into a different understanding. You'll get into a different understanding of yourself when you energetically step outside of the matrix of your mind And it's not that difficult to do if you understand there's a difference between who you are and what the thoughts in your mind are, the memories in your mind are, and the things that your mind anticipates based on the thoughts and memories. That you can actually and realistically experience yourself as the consciousness that you are, independent of your matrical mind, the mind that keeps you enslaved to itself, most of which isn't even yours anyway. Wow, great question. So that's pretty much it for today, guys, what has happened. I so thank that person for subscribing. Remember, give these videos a like, a thumbs up, a subscribe. Give other people the opportunity to come upon this information and this guidance that comes through this forum. Every time you give a little heart, you tap your screen. Apparently I realized I can tap my own screen. I didn't know that. But I could do that too. And it's not for me. This is for other people, right? When I do that, that's for other people. It's because the algorithm, when it recognizes this is being liked more, it sends it out. It pushes it out. At least on TikTok, it pushes it out more. On YouTube, I believe it's the number of thumbs up, the number of comments, the number of likes. And I think it's the same for Facebook. If you get the number of likes or comments in Facebook, the algorithm then puts that out on more people's feed, right? And that's what this is about, getting to the largest number of people in the shortest period of time. Thank you for the wise words of a teacher who sent me the universe. You're very welcome, Lucas. You're very, very welcome. Hey, Van Twinkle, good to see you. I love that name. Yes, I'm doing very well. Thank you so much, Kathy. I'm doing very well on this day. Thank you for those lovely stars, Joy. To my subscribers on TikTok, I'm trying to figure out, I would like to really show you guys some appreciation, and I want to do a subscribers only event, and I'm thinking, I want to give you a little bit of notice about it. I'm thinking of doing like a healing event for my subscribers, like a real deep healing event, and I've asked Archangel Michael, Raphael, and Master Jesus if they would participate in it. They said they would. We just have to decide when the time is going to be the best for that. But I want to offer that to my TikTok subscribers, a special healing event to you guys. You guys have been just amazing in your support, not just of me, but the people that you help that come on to the live event. And same with my YouTube channel. If I create that event for my YouTube moderators, I would be more than happy to invite you guys along too, because you've been really helpful in managing the people on there. But it would be a specialized healing event. I would love to do that for my subscribers. It'd be really wonderful on TikTok. I will be activating subscriptions on my YouTube channel this week. So if you want to become a channel for a YouTube subscriber, a paid subscriber on YouTube, then that again would be very helpful. And I could combine the event for both my YouTube subscribers and my TikTok subscribers, and we could do the event with a whole bunch of people that really wanted to experience a healing event with the Ascended Masters. It'd be really wonderful. Just a thought. I'd like some feedback on that from my subscribers. If you'd like that, let me know. If you think this is something you'd be interested in participating, whether you're on YouTube or TikTok or Facebook, let me know if you'd be interested in doing that. Everything you've told me is so true. Thank you. You're very, very welcome. Everything they tell me is true. I kid you not. I'm so blessed that I get to be a vehicle to allow this information to go to you guys through me. I don't mind being the usher to the door, you know? There's a great pleasure and privilege in being able to hold the door open for their wisdom and knowledge to flow through to all of us. There's a real great honor to let them in, so to speak. Thank you so much. I'm glad you appreciate it. It means a lot. Wendy says, it sounds amazing. I think Sam is going to be a new subscriber after that beautiful message from Jody. Oh, that's wonderful. JJ says, Jerusalem says she's totally open to it. Wonderful. The healing event would be so wonderful. Yes, it would. It will. It will. Happy to hear you're on YouTube. I've been on YouTube for many years now. It's just these last few years that they've been saying it's time to really push the message out as quickly as possible in the shortest time possible. Everything you've told, oh, thank you so much, appreciate it. Oh, thank you so much for subscribing on YouTube. Just appreciate that. Yeah, I think whoever just subscribed me on YouTube, you are my 2600 YouTube subscriber. Thank you so much. Thank you. There we are. You know, remember, I want you to remember something about today. Today is a brand new day for you, and now is a brand new moment for you, and that's always going to be true. If you can remember that, because your mind can only live in the past or the future. Your mind cannot live in the present moment. Only you can. And that exercise, for those of you that are on TikTok or Facebook, you can go to my YouTube channel under the live section, and you can find today's live event under the lives and watch what the process they suggested you go through to get yourself to the place where you're out of the matrix of your personality. They were very clear about that process. Your personality is a matrix that you've been lost in. It's not about some machine out there. Your mind is the matrix. What's put in your mind by the environment is part of that matrix. And they gave us a really simple and easy way to step outside of that into the silence, where you can become reconnected to who you are spiritually, energetically, as a consciousness, as a being. I'm so excited that you guys all came out for this event today. I will be talking with Master Jesus and them about when we're going to put this together, and I'll finalize setting up the YouTube subscriptions, and we will get this thing happening for you guys within the next week, I think, because we're going to be heading for between April the 26th and May the 11th. I will not be doing any live events during that time, or it's very unlikely I'll be doing any live events between those 2 weeks, as we're moving ourselves from Mexico back up to Canada, and so we're going to be taking our time doing that. We want to experience some things. I want to say thank you, everybody, for supporting this channel in whatever way you do. It means a lot, not just for me, but for the people that get the opportunity that I see quite often come on and say, thank you so much. I needed to hear this. I'm grateful. And it's because you give them those likes and those thumbs up that this information gets out there. If you also want to help, you can also use the tip jar on my Linktree. Go to my Linktree link on my bio on TikTok, or under any of my live videos on YouTube. You can click a Linktree link and offer a tip or a support in that way too. It keeps the channel operating, and this is what I do for a living. And I thank you all for being here today. Much, much love, and I will see you guys on the Monday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. Bye for now.